The UFC has officially partnered with Paramount Plus, announcing that the pay-per-view model has come to an end. The forever outdated, fossiled pay-per-view model. I mean, in this day and age of pirating, good luck doing pay-per-views. I feel like this is the end. The UFC was the only last people that could do pay-per-views, guys, but we also have how many events they're going to do. We have, how much money this is worth. We're going to read through this article right here, and we're going to review some of the details, guys. It was big discussion. Where was the UFC going to land? WWE just signed with ESPN, and a lot of people felt like because WWE, UFC, they're under the same umbrella, right? Like maybe they'd be both on ESPN. Maybe this was a sign UFC was going to stay with ESPN. That clearly was not the case because UFC announced this Paramount Plus deal. Now, Paramount Plus, it's funny enough, I actually don't have Paramount Plus, so they will definitely be gaining a subscriber with me, especially because there is no pay-per-view cost. There is no extra cost. You pay, and we're gonna get into this, $12.99, I believe, a month, and who knows, that price could go up, especially if more and more people use it. This is I believe, 7-year deal, which is a pretty long deal. I could imagine prices could go up, but I mean, I don't own it myself, so they're gonna gain me. The 7-year term, which begins in 2026, has an average annual value of 1.1 billion a year, I guess, with an overall value of 7.7 billion dollars over that period. The contract payment schedule is weighed more toward the back end of the deal, according to the company. So, I mean, that's just basically who gives a F where the finances go. I mean, that's really up to them. Starting in 2026, Paramount will exclusively distribute UFC's full slate of 13 annual marquee pay-per-views, so the same amount of pay-per-views and 30 fight nights, which I believe is probably like around the same, roughly the same amount. And so all that is probably going to stay the same, I'd imagine, every weekend. I think the shows are going to go on. There's not going to be a slowdown. I wouldn't have minded. I mean, I felt like if maybe Netflix took it over and Netflix only had it, maybe they do maybe every 2 weeks just to make the cards a little more stacked. You know what I mean? But David Ellison, the new CEO of Paramount, pinned a major new deal for the media company, and he just took over. So yeah, I believe I remember that this was news that he just took over. There was a Paramount Skydance merger and a big, two big companies basically coming together. But now they have announced a 7-year media rights agreement with TKO Group, under which Paramount Plus will become the exclusive home of all UFC events in the US. So this is, pay-per-views, fight nights. This is a big deal because this was a talking point. Were they going to split it up? And I felt like more likely than not, they were going to split it up because financially that probably makes sense. Hey, Netflix, you guys get the pay-per-views. Oh, Paramount Plus, you guys get the fight nights. Or ESPN, you get the fight nights. Then you also, spread your content to more people. And that's something I think is lacking here. I mean, the UFC, I feel like, is benefiting Paramount Plus more than Paramount Plus is benefiting the UFC, outside of money, of course. Because personally, like, I feel like not many people are going to discover UFC from Paramount Plus. That's just what I think. I could be totally wrong. I don't really know the numbers on it. But the fact that they're getting all of the events is pretty big. And they did pay a pretty big price, so that makes sense. But yeah, so originally it was on ESPN. That deal has come to an end. And why did my lights go off? As part of the agreement, UFC Paramount will move away from UFC's existing pay-per-view model, and instead, the event will be available at no additional cost to the Paramount Plus US subscribers. This is a shift in distribution strategy, will unlock greater accessibility and discoverability for sports fans, and provide important catalysts for driving engagement and further subscriber growth for Paramount Plus. And I mean, that is, like I just was saying before, it's good because more people will be exposed to UFC, yes, but like I said, I don't know. I don't know really know honestly what's really on Paramount Plus. I know that there's I mean, I know that there's like a lot of like, I don't feel like that fits the UFC model. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like the UFC type of audience. How many people on Paramount Plus that have Paramount Plus right now are going to be interested in UFC? But don't get me wrong. A lot of people are going to now join Paramount Plus that are fans of UFC, even semi-fans of UFC. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get into UFC once they hear, wow, wait, we don't have to pay pay-per-view anymore. It's just $12.99 a month. That's it. Yeah, sure. Let me do that. I'll pay. And a lot of them, I'm sure, already probably have Paramount Plus. So this is a big opportunity for those kind of fans. But I don't know. I'm not sure how many people there are exactly that, have Paramount Plus right now that are, would jump into UFC that are not already into UFC. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. Paramount Plus said it plans to explore acquiring UFC rights outside the US as they become available in the future. Okay, so the kind of worldwide. I believe right now Brazil, I think that's just the UFC Fight Pass right now. So I just think different things like that. I guess they're going to try to acquire. I couldn't be more excited to join forces with Dana, Ari, and Mark, Ellison said in a statement referring to the UFC CEO Dana White, TKO Chief Ari Emanuel. So yeah, this is big news. Ellison continued, rarely do opportunities arise a partner or an exclusive basis with a global sport powerhouse like UFC. So yeah, kind of just absolutely monstrously glazing the UFC. No, I'm kidding, guys. But while ESPN is losing UFC, it's gaining WWE, which is what we just said. Which is, like I said, I'm not surprised, because a lot of people I did see online, they kind of were like, well, this must be an indicator that the UFC is going to stay with ESPN. I mean, I think the biggest shock to me, I'm not surprised that they didn't stick with ESPN. I don't think just because WWE goes on there means UFC is going to go there. At the end of the day, those are two different negotiations, different spots. You know what I mean? That's just the truth. What I'm more actually surprised about is the fact that Paramount got all of it, and I mean, I guess because they paid $7.7 billion, that is a lot of money. But I'm surprised they got the fight nights and the pay-per-views. I would have thought they would have split it up. I think that would have been a smart move financially, business-wise. I think you should have split it up. I think even if ESPN kept fight nights, that's a big slot. And a lot of people were watching UFC, and a lot of people were getting exposed to UFC through ESPN. I personally feel like, look, the Netflix thing would have been huge. Amazon Prime, I feel like would have been even big. I feel like that would have been a step up over Paramount Plus. Even Hulu. I mean, but Hulu's kind of the same as ESPN, I guess, and Disney and all that. But still, I think all of that would have been a huge improvement. But I mean, Paramount Plus, it's strange. And to me, honestly, I'm a little petty too about it, because this is the one thing I don't own. Like Netflix, I own. Amazon Prime, I own. I mean, Hulu, I own. I mean, what don't I own at this point? I pretty much own everything except for Paramount Plus. So I'll be, I guess, now using that. I'll be hopping on there. I wonder if UFC will now be on CBS instead of, how it was on ABC. That's also something that could be interesting, guys. It's just a bit surprising, but also makes sense for Paramount Plus. It also makes it like Netflix. They have a lot of leverage over the UFC, right? But Paramount Plus, they have a lot of benefit getting the UFC over. They probably paid a lot of money, and they did $7.7 billion, guys. I mean, that is absolutely insane. I could only wish to see that money in my lifetime. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I guess tomorrow I'll upload a video because I had a video planned for today. I had to, kind of move it. It was all done. So probably going to come out tomorrow, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys are the best fan-based MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys in the next one.